It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Leopard!
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Steps away to his left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They're able to keep the drive alive 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Step, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Meanwhile, taking a look at what's going on in KC. And the Raiders have jumped out to an early lead over the Chiefs. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A first throw for the backup Griffin. He's going deep for Brown. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Griffin. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Collins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll indeed go for it with Griffin, eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. They run, Devontae Freeman. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. T.Y. Hilton, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will tie things up at 13. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now here come the Ravens. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On first down, Griffin. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 29 yards that time. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Play action. Now Griffin. He's going to fire one deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Body Calhoun. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield off the play fake. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Mayfield on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And this one is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
Yeah, if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle it and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when we clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have moved out in front. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Throw left side complete. It's Collins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw again is Griffin. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Griffin. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. The Ravens on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Out of the gun, Griffin. And this is going to be incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on him all game long.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scrum, that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Slow.
After the interception, here's Griffin. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. Again, left side to Collins. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Looking deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Griffin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. 30, past the 20, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down.
They go again with Collins. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Griffin. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Griffin. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very solid gain of 27. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. They run with Collins. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And again, it's Collins. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. From the gun, Griffin. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for him with Griffin. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Browns defense stands tall. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Griffin. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Play fake. Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Browns on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Mayfield looks to throw. Buying time to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Back now in Baltimore. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now in Lambeau. And that one all Packers right now. They've scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, Griffin. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Brian Bonnie Calhoun. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
No, check, Patriot!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Griffin. And this is incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now it's Griffin dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Flush, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Griffin. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 3rd and long. It's Griffin. Caught right side. It's Snead. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hayden Hurst with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 21-yard line. Now it's Freeman. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield on play action. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Griffin on second down. Drops it underneath for Collins. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll throw on first down with Griffin. To the right side and complete to Hurst. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From the gun, it's Griffin. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Griffin. And now he'll tuck it and run. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain. On second down, here's Griffin. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Ravens on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Collins. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Okay, we've seen plenty of games. We've been there before. They thought they had this one over with if they could have stopped them right there on that down. Now they've got to continue to play. That's going to be tough.
That's tough because it was such great coverage. They had them blanketed, especially there in the secondary, but, hey, took off and found a way. Being chased out left. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.